Hey, this is Pandora. I'm here at Kailash Ecovillage to give you a tour of the gardens here. So right up here we have patio with a lot of native ferns and other types of ferns, a lot of perennials. And this is part of an area that I take care of. I used to actually take care of all of the gardens here, but now I'm just doing this section that's out here. This is a yuzu tree. And then back in here and over this section I take care of. And we will sneak through some passageways here now. Oh no, this is bad. This area over here we call the Buddha garden. There's a big hazelnut tree that actually we cut it down and then all the shoots grew around it, so it kind of formed this kind of circle there. We have a lot of different types of bamboos, different varieties planted around the property. And including this big timber bamboo right back in here. You can see the size of the stalks of that. This is actually a baby bamboo that came up just this year, but it looks like it's dying off already. And back here we call this the forest garden. You can see how the bamboo leaves fall and make kind of a nice soft pathway. Most of our pathways are wood chipped, but this one we don't have to use as many wood chips. I really like these ground orchids here. Really pretty flowers. And there's a lot of fruit trees across the property that are maintained by everyone who lives here. So this area was kind of cleared out and trimmed just recently, and that's why it doesn't have a lot of foliage right now. Nice big pears here, if we can make through the jungle of pears. So over in here we have the community garden plots. You can see that each person's plot is unique to what they like to grow. Some have a lot of flowers, some herbs, some native plants and fruits, but a lot of them are mostly vegetables. And there's more bamboo through here. You can see some of the fruit trees actually were planted too close to the bamboo, so we have to kind of keep both of those trimmed. There are a lot of squash plants right now. So, yeah, that part's really hard to get through right now, so we're going to have to cut over. I guess go by the bees? No, I don't really like that spot. They're too active today. These are all still community garden plots. Got some choke cherries there. There's some rose hips. Huh? Under the big tree. This is a really old prune plum that was here when the owners bought the property, so that was over 10 years ago. Then we have some sections in here that are community vegetable plots that a group of people here, they garden together. This is another garden that's kind of in process. A lot of things were cleared out and things are just now starting to be planted back in. These are some of the rainwater catchment swales. So it comes off of the roof and we just have catchment on the downspouts, and then it all percolates back down into the property where we can then just use it as garden water by pumping it back up from the aquifer. Okay, we're going through a jungle of squash plants here. So a lot of our swale doesn't have water, but this was an old pond that was on the property previously, so we used it to have the rainwater catchment come in, make a pond, hopefully for amphibians to use. But then as you continue on, you can see that the pipes are set high so that that retains a little bit of water, but most of our swale and rainwater catchment is dry most of the year. Ooh, we're going to have to hop over that. Okay, that area is not too interesting, but this is this whole area we call the Circle Garden, and it has a group that tends it, and they decide what to plant. They do all the work, and they harvest and keep whatever they produce here. So there are a lot of different types of things planted around here. And those are the main parts of the garden. We'll skip now, and I will go up to the blueberries. Actually, I can probably show this bit of the swale. It goes up here. And there's another one that comes out this way. There's another bit of it. This tree had problems in the snowstorm. And then here you can get a good view of where the swales are here. Okay, so we'll go down here through the squash tunnel. I think there's beans and peas and all kinds of things planted in there this year. And I don't know if we'll be able to get all the way through the end, but we'll make it as far as we can go. So what happens is the squash grows, and then we twine it up here, and it ends up, the squash are hanging down in the tunnel here. Okay, and somebody trimmed both sides so I can make it through now. Now these grapevines we like to trim. I'll show you a section of the ones that have already been trimmed. So up here we have our herb garden, a pollinator corridor, and we have blueberry bushes and strawberries up there. I'll show you where the grapes are that have been trimmed. So up in here, this is how we like to trim the grapes. You can see the grapes in here, but yet it's not an overwhelming mess. And then when these are ripe, we can tell when they're ripe and see them. And then we have a bunch of lines going across to hold the raspberries back. And then we are back to the beginning, and that's it.